passed down to you by Cuauhtémoc, eagle warrior of Tenochtitlan. An omen appeared above the forest, the shape of an ear of corn, but blazing like daybreak. It seemed to bleed fire, drop by drop, like a wound in the sky. I am a warrior, not a priest, and knew not what to make of such a sign. I consulted with the seers and magicians to see if another great war was coming. But they answered only in riddles. The gods want more sacrifice was their answer. That was always their answer. Much of our empire of rainforest and volcanoes has been conquered in the name of sacrifice. The magicians tell us that we must make a sacrifice every single day for the sun to continue to rise. It took the relay teams 2 full days to carry my message the 200 miles to our city of Tenochtitlan. After 2 more days, my uncle, Montezuma, Emperor of the Aztecs, sent his reply. Montezuma's priest foretold that the god Quetzalkoatl might soon return from his long exile. How else to explain the omen? Montezuma ordered my warriors to increase their efforts to consolidate the rainforest between our land and those of our enemies. We must establish control over 4 shrines that are sacred to Quetzalkoatl, the feathered serpent. Because the Aztec Empire is mighty and constantly expands, we have made many enemies. We must defend these shrines from our enemies in order to prepare for Quetzalcoatl's eventual return.
Ku Bantelwon.
Che Bantelwon. Ikho.
Omantse Bantne. Ok Bantelwon. Ku
Bantne.
Omantse.
I hear the growl of the jaguar. Is this a bad omen?
Bantelwon. Asko. Ok.
Bantelwon. Achkish.
Omantse ok Ban Ku Bantelwon. Omantse ok Bantelwon. Jonke. Ok Ku Jebyo Bantne. Ok. Omantse Jonke. Bantne. Bantelwon. Ku Bantelwon. Ok. Bantne. Walk.
Achzack. 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 Achzack.
Vinchan Bantelwon. Comanta. Ikho. Ikho Bantelwon.
Walk. Bantelwon.
Batne. Ikho. Ok. Bantelwon. Ku. Ok.
Ku ok Bantelwon. Ok. Walk. Jebyo. Bantne. Omantse. Walk. Walk. Omantse. Jebyo. Walk. Jonke. Bantne. Bantelwon. Ku Jebyo. Ban ok. Ku ok. Jebyo. Omantse Jonke. Ok Jonke. Omantse Jebyo. Ban
Bantelwon. Achzack.
Walk. Jonke. Bantni. Ok. Jebio. Bant. Command.
Bantel.
Ok. Ku. Jonke.
Bantel.
Ok. Jebio. Jonke.
Bantel.
Ku. Jebio. Jonke. Jebio. Jonke. Jebio. Jonke. Jebio. Jonke. Ok.
Bantel.
Ku.
Bantel.
Ok. Ku. Bantni. Jebio. Comanze.
Bantel.
Ok.
Comanza. Ik ho.
Comanze. Ok. Ku. Bantni. Jonke. Ok. Jebio.
Bantel.
Ok. Ok. Jonke. Comanze. Jebio. Ok. Ok. Ku. Comanze.
Bantel.
You defile our sacred temple, Aztecs. The gods demand a sacrifice.
Bantni. Ok.
Bantel.
Jonke. Ok. Ku. Ok.
Bantel.
Ok. Ku.
Bantel.
Jebio. Ku. Jonke. Ban. Ok. Jebio.
Bantel.
Jonke. Comanze. Ban. Ok. Ku. Ok.
Hek. Ik ho.
When my warriors had captured the shrines and defeated the Xochimilcan and Tlatelolco, we made the long journey back to Tenochtitlan, laden with gifts for Emperor Montezuma, jade, feathers, and of course, prisoners. The sheer vastness of our city on the lake seemed staggering after having been in the rainforest for so many days. Emperor Montezuma lives in the most sumptuous rooms of the palace with his wives and concubines. While we spoke, he drank frothing chocolate from a golden cup. Musicians played their drums and flutes, and masked women danced. When my uncle Montezuma first ascended the Great Pyramid many years ago to become emperor, there was a great celebration. Yet now, some question his leadership. He sometimes makes decisions slowly, and rarely does he lead the warriors into combat. Montezuma's priest informed us that Quetzalkoatl, the feathered serpent, would soon return to Tenochtitlan to reclaim his kingdom. Since I had helped prepare for his coming, I was given a new obsidian macana and promoted to the rank of jaguar warrior. There was more feasting and dancing that night. The air was heavy with perfume. However, I noticed as I walked down the steps of the Emperor's palace that the omen still hung heavily over the lake, spraying sparks over the midnight sky. So says Cuauhtémoc, jaguar warrior of Tenochtitlan. Passed down to you by Cuauhtémoc, jaguar warrior of Tenochtitlan. The gods were still uneasy, for another omen appeared that same year. The temple of the demon Huitzilopochtli burst suddenly into flames, although it was made of stone. When the people hurried to pour water on the fire, it burned with even greater violence. I asked our Emperor Montezuma what we needed to do to appease the gods. His haughty priests made that predictable reply. The Aztec Empire needed more prisoners. The sun god, the rain god, and even the feathered serpent Quetzalkoatl were angry deities that required sacrifice. Our city-state of Tenochtitlan is allied with two others, together composing the Triple Alliance. Montezuma intended for the Triple Alliance to attack our longtime enemies, the Tlaxcala. I sent the traditional shield, arrows, and cloaks to the Tlaxcala, declaring to them that they would soon be attacked. Then, we marched out into the forests, our jaguar and eagle banners ready to clash with the heron banners of the Tlaxcala. Birds in the rainforest canopy took to the sky, eager to be away from the violence that was to come.
Comanze. Ok.
Bantel.
Ok.
Bantelwon.
Emperor Montezuma insists that you make war on the Tlaxcala.
Montezuma oversteps his authority, but we will comply.
Ku.
Montezuma of the Aztec demands that as a member of the Triple Alliance, you attack the wicked Tlaxcala.
Montezuma asks us to do much for the Aztecs, but we shall do his bidding, for now.
Now we can attack the Tlaxcala. Villagers are being sent by transport from Tenochtitlan to establish our forward base.
Ikho. Bantelwon. Ikho. Ok. Outside. 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 Outside.
Comance. Achtzak. Achtzak. Bantelwon. Achtzak.
But nay. Outside. 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 But nay.
We have found a hidden temple to Tlaloc, the rain god. The magicians say that if we bring 10 jaguar warriors to this location, we will be rewarded.
These warriors shall receive the blessing of the rain god, and will fight with the skill of 10 normal men.
We have destroyed 1 town center. 3 remain.
Bantelwon. Ok. Jebyo. Jebyo.
We have now leveled 2 of Tlaxcala's town centers. 2 remain.
Jebyo. Ban. Ok. Jonke. Jebyo. Ok.
Bantelwon.
Comance. Jonke. Ok. Comance. Jebyo.
Tlaxcala has 1 town center remaining. Where can it be?
Comance.
We have destroyed all of Tlaxcala's town centers. Now they will surely surrender.
Now that we are rid of the Tlaxcala, let us rid ourselves of these Aztec taskmasters as well.
Ku.
Bantelwon.
Agreed.
Ok.
Bantelwon.
Ku. Jebyo. Ban.
Bantelwon.
Comance. Ku. Ban. Ok.
Bantelwon. Bantelwon.
Ku. Ban. Comance. Ok. Ku. Comance. Jonke. Ban. Jebyo. Ok. Jonke. Comance. Jonke. Ban.
Bantelwon.
Jebyo. Ok.
Bantelwon.
Ku. Ok. Jebyo. Ban. Comance. Ok. Ban. Ku.
Bantelwon.
Ok. Ok. Jonke. Ok. Comance. Jebyo. Ban. Jonke. Ok. Jebyo. Ban. Comance. Jonke. Ok. Ok. Ban. Ku. Ok.
Bantelun. Bantelun. Manze. Bantelun.
None shall challenge the will of Montezuma and the Aztec Empire.
Bantelun.
But wait, what is this that approaches?
I claim these lands and all of the gold they bear in the name of Charles of Spain. Until all of the gold is brought to me, I shall not return home. To prove it, I am sinking my ships.
Who is this man who has arrived? Could it be that the god Quetzalkoatl has returned? The first messengers to arrive in Tenochtitlan told of mountains or towers that floated on the sea. Each story told to Montezuma was more fantastic than the last. They could fire stone balls, shooting sparks and raining fire that could crack open weapons. Huge deer with no antlers carried these gods on their backs. Their swords were iron, their bows were iron, their shields were iron, and their clothes were iron. Surely this was the return of Quetzalkoatl. Montezuma heard these reports with growing alarm as he shifted nervously on the Ikpali, his legless throne. He ordered expensive gifts to be sent to the new arrivals in the hopes that Quetzalkoatl would spare Montezuma when the feathered serpent came to Tenochtitlan. "He has come back," Montezuma whispered to me. "He seeks his place on the throne, for that is what he promised when he departed." I held my weapons tightly but said nothing. How could I challenge the word of our emperor? So says Cuauhtémoc, jaguar warrior of Tenochtitlan. Passed down to you by Cuauhtémoc, jaguar warrior of Tenochtitlan. Another omen. The lake around the great city of Tenochtitlan rose and boiled. It foamed until it washed against the houses of the city, sweeping many of them into the lake. I accompanied our dignitaries to meet with the new arrivals. We journeyed towards the coast, through the lands of our enemies, the Tlaxcala. When we emerged from the forest, the strangers welcomed us, although they kept their weapons nearby. I told them that we were Aztecs, representatives of the great Montezuma. Their leader said that his people were Spanish, and he named himself Cortés, although he seemed pleased when we referred to him as Quetzalkoatl. Although their armor and animals seem otherworldly, they did not seem like gods to me. We presented Cortés gifts of finest cotton and plumes of bird feathers, but he seemed more interested in the gold ornaments. He asked again and again if there was more gold to be found in Tenochtitlan. By now, Cortés had advanced all the way to the lands of the Tlaxcala. There was initial warfare made between Tlaxcala and the Spanish. However, when Cortés heard stories about the size of Tenochtitlan and the number of our brave Aztec warriors, he suggested that the Spanish and the Tlaxcala join forces and attack the Aztecs. We do not know the intentions of these Spanish arrivals. For now, our enemies are the Tlaxcala.
Ok, Bantelun.
The Spanish are attacking our allies in Tabasco. We must come to their aid.
Outside.
Command.
It is to no avail. The Spanish beasts and weapons are more powerful than our warriors. Tabasco is lost.
Het. Ikho. Comandse. Achtzak. Het.
Outside.
Our runners have confirmed that the Spanish and Tlaxcala have formed an alliance against us. Now we must do battle with them both.
Achtzak.
But nay. Outside.
The Spanish armies are dangerous because of the beasts they ride into battle. If we could capture these animals, then the Spanish would be much less of a threat. This is the pen where we will corral the captured Spanish horses.
Achtzak. Comance.
Bantelwoon. Ku. Ok. Bantelwoon. Ku. Ok. Bantelwoon. Ok. Bantelwoon.
Ok. Outside.
Ok. Ok. Bantelwoon. Ku. Ok. Bantelwoon. Ban. Ku. Bantelwoon. Ok. Ku. Ok. Bantelwoon. Jebyo. Ku. Bantelwoon. Ok.
Ok.
Ku.
Achtzak. Comance. Zak. Onane.
Batne.
Iko. Bantelwon.
Ban. Bantelwoon. Ku. Bantelwoon. Ku. Bantelwoon.
Ok. Zak. Onane.
Iko.
Comance. Jebyo. Ku. Ok. Jonke. Bantelwoon. Jebyo. Ok. Jonke. O. Bantelwoon. Jebyo. Ok. Jonke. Bantelwoon. Jebyo. Bantelwoon. Jonke. Ok. Jebyo. Bantelwoon. Jonke. Bantelwoon. Jebyo. Ok. Jonke. Jebyo. Bantelwoon. Jebyo.
J. Sakunan. Arpicha.
Ban. Bantelwoon. Jonke. Comance. Jebyo. Ok. Jonke. Bantelwoon. Ok. Ku. Bantelwoon. Ku. Bantelwoon. Ok. Jonke. Bantelwoon. Ku. Jebyo. Jonke. Ban. Comance. Ok. Ku. Ok. Ban. Comance. Ku. Jebyo. Ok. Bantelwoon. Ok. Bantelwoon. Ban. Ku. Bantelwoon. Ok. Bantelwoon. Ok. Comance. Jebyo. Bantelwoon. Ku. Ok. Ban. Ku. Bantelwoon. Ok. Ok. Bantelwoon. Ok. Jebyo. Jonke. Ok. Jebyo. Comance. Ok. Ku. Ban. Ok. Ku. Jonke. Comance. Ok. Bantelwoon. Jebyo. Ku.
We have captured 10 Spanish horses. We are halfway to our goal. Now that we have all of the Spanish horses, they will be unable to send their deadly knights and conquistadors into battle. We have defeated the Tlaxcalans and slowed the Spanish advance, but I fear the final confrontation is yet to come. Although the Aztec warriors fought well that day, my men were frightened by the beasts that the Spanish rode into combat, and by the noise of their exploding weapons. Although we had survived the attack, I thought it best to withdraw towards Tenochtitlan and share with Emperor Montezuma all that we had learned. I don't know if my uncle Montezuma was being cowardly or merely trying to preserve us from the wrath of the gods, but he sent more gifts to Cortez along with an invitation to visit our great city as his personal guest. I was there when Montezuma met Cortés on one of the causeways leading into our great city. The Spanish had evidently never seen anything like Tenochtitlan, and they stared in wonder at the brightly colored markets and pyramids rising out of a man-made island in the middle of a gigantic lake, Texcoco. Some of the Spanish soldiers asked whether it was all a dream, the first glimpse of things never heard, seen, or dreamed before. Montezuma led Cortés to the top of the Great Pyramid, where he pointed out the various canals and neighborhoods of the city. But Cortés was mostly interested in gold ornaments, and helped himself to any which he encountered. I was no longer convinced that this man was Quetzalkoatl. So says Cuauhtémoc, jaguar warrior of Tenochtitlan.